Watch this video before you invest in Poland. So, okay, what are the problems? Let me start with that. It's super hard to get mortgages. I had a salary for 12 months. I couldn't get it. Second, the government bureaucracy is super slow, man. If you're gonna invest in land developments, renovate. Oh, I renovated the flat, and then some neighbor reported it, or the administration was not happy, and it was taking me so much time and hassle and effort to just get that fixed. Yeah. So those are like two reasons, but of course, Poland is still an amazing country to invest in. The economy is growing, the people are getting richer, so real estate will keep growing with that. But yeah, welcome to my video. This is Adrian. I have 3, 4 flats in Tbilisi. I have 3 mortgages in Tbilisi, and I have no mortgages in Poland because I tried and I couldn't get it. It was in that sense much easier there. And here I want to share with you my experiences so you don't do the same mistakes as me. And this video can be kind of a transition to why I'm doing automation now. Okay, so I want to get deep into it, like give you all the juicy pieces of like this chocolate knowledge that I've earned with my pain and with my suffering. Actually, no, it's amazing. I learn new things. That's the goal of all of this, right? So let me tell you. I came here first. I was looking at real estate in USA. I was already pre-approved for some loans. And let me just take a sip of this herbal tea. Licorice and cinnamon, very nice. Okay, so I came here, I was looking at USA real estate, but then I thought, okay, I like Poland. Why not invest in a flat in Poland? Yeah, why not look for deals here? I'm pretty sure it's possible. And then I started looking, I started joining groups like Mieszkanicznik, which you can join. It's mostly, I mean, it's only Polish people, so you gotta learn some Polish. Some people speak English there, of course. And then I was networking, meeting investors who have invested before here. I was reading the forums, translating all the articles I could get, and that was the start of my investing journey. I then found Jason, who I think he basically got me up and running way faster than if I would have done it alone. Yeah, so I paid him a good fee. It was basically, yeah, the agent fee that I would have give to an agent anyways. But he helped me, find the websites that were scraping the listing websites, and the one that I used was, what was it called? Lista Przetargowa, which is connected to like auctions in the true meaning, but it was basically viewing all the listings and then bringing them into one system so you could review them just from all the websites. Yeah, and funny enough, the real estate that I did found was on, what was it? Sprzedajemy, which is SPRZEDAJEMY. All right, there you go. I just won my school's spelling bee or something, right? Those things are hard, man. So what did I do after that? I looked through like 300 apartments, and then I visited like 20 of them. And with Jason, we conducted a strategy. Well, it was mostly him, but I'm gonna take some credit anyways. I found a flat in Ochota. Well, actually, before that, I submitted an offer for like a room rental. And funny enough, that would probably be better for me at this point because the room rental would have given the same ROI. And that was in Praga, Ponoc, the North Praga. And that was a good flat. But they didn't accept my offer. And then we did a 2-pack, and I actually wanted to do a 2-pack because it was more complex. I could renovate more, and I was thinking I can get better rent, and it was true actually. I got way better ROI than I expected. And room rentals, and also room rentals, I felt like it was going to be way more management, and that's true. When you split a flat, long-term tenants, 12 months, you don't have much to do, and they have ownership. It's their kitchen, it's their toilet, they got to clean it. Their mom is going to visit, their friends are going to visit. If it's not clean, it's their fault. But whenever it's a room rental, I used to live in one. Fuck, there was potatoes in some. Somewhere, like there was so many flies in the kitchen. If I walked in, it looked like one of these movie scenes where there's like dead people and there's like flies everywhere. But then I found that there was these potatoes that like were stored somewhere, and the flies were like kind of like putting their babies in the potato. Oh, it was disgusting, and then we threw it out. Anyways, what I wanted to tell you is, yeah, no one cares in a shared flat. That's one of my fears of room rentals. Of course, it shouldn't be like that. If you're gonna do it, I would recommend like putting 200 zloty per month. Just like have someone come and clean it every 2 weeks. But yeah, the ownership factor is not gonna be there, not as strong. Yeah. Okay, so what do I want to say more? I want to talk to you a little bit more about what happened after. So I bought that flat, I renovated it, and then I was giving myself, already from the moment I was starting to search, I had an income, umowa o dzieło, which I talked about in the mortgage video. But umowa o dzieło is basically a temporary contract where you have an income, but it's not a permanent contract. And at that point of time, everyone was saying, yeah, you're going to get a loan. It's just instead of 6 months on a umowa pracy, which is a long-term contract, you need like 12 months. I said, okay, no problem. The taxes are okay, they're lower, and let's do it, yeah? And by the way, getting a mortgage in Poland was a pain in the... Wow. Dude, I was pre-approved for USA loans, and they would also give me... What is it called when they give you a loan based upon your future incomes? It's and there's a ratio for it. It's called... yeah, I don't remember the name, but anyways, the bank understands that you're gonna rent these and you're gonna have an income, and based upon that future future income, you can get a loan. In Poland, they don't do that. They almost don't want you to do that. So this is why I was discouraged, but anyways, so after renovating that flat, I rented out to two Kazakh girls for the first. Yeah, it took 4 months. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of how it turned out. It's beautiful. I would live there myself. It's one of the best things that when the girls entered, they were like, "Oh my god, this is so nice, so much better than the last place we lived." And of course, they came from some like rented room, or with their. Yeah, she and her friend, so two girls, were studying in Poland, and they came from room rentals, and they were like, "This is so big, this is so beautiful." I was so happy to hear that. They even gave me chocolate, from Kazakhstan to thank me to renting it to them, because I didn't want to rent to two people from the beginning. But anyways, then my next tenant had a dog and they destroyed the flat, and damn, that was a lot of headache. Man, if you're getting into real estate, just prepare yourself that it is not going to be passive unless you have a like very good manager, someone with a foot on the ground. Yeah, so I had to pay a lot for that, but the insurance paid me. But the thing is, the insurance raised my insurance next year, so it's like, yeah, it's just not good. Yeah, don't let your tenants have dogs. It was a small dog. I didn't think it was going to do any damage, but those teeth, man, they're devil teeth. It was like a small like bulldog or some shit, or it wasn't a pug. It wasn't pug. It was like a bulldog, like a small bulldog. Damn. Yeah, I just felt bad for the girl. I was like, okay, have it, and we'll have insurance. But anyways, that didn't work out too well. But despite all of this, I was excited that I'm gonna get a mortgage. I'm gonna get a mortgage. It's gonna be good LTV. I even hired a what is it called? Someone who evaluates. Yeah, appreciator. What is it? I don't remember what it's called. But that person came and basically did an evaluation on my flat, and they basically gave a better evaluation than the bank people do. The bank people are way too conservative. But yeah, this evaluation helped me with one bank, but again, they didn't approve me anyways in the end. And some other banks who wanted to give me loans, they were approving me for, I think it was Santander, like 500,000 zloty. I'm like, what? I spent 800,000 on this flat. I'm gonna pull 500 out? Stupid, yeah. And the rates are so high in Poland, anyways. I think it's the government that doesn't want like the prices to go higher. So they, of course, it's a bigger picture. I'm not an economist, but somehow it feels like the rates are too high. The bank rules are super stringent. Everything feels connected to the ZUS, which is the social security. So basically, they're not forcing. The system is set up in a way that if you don't pay the highest rates of ZUS, you don't get the benefit of a mortgage. So it's not the capitalistic system. It's a bit more state/capitalist. Anyways, don't want to get too politic here. I'm sure Poland will do great in the future. I love Poland. Okay, so that was the flat story. And then, by the way, during the renovations, the administration was annoying me so much, even though basically I was removing the walls inside. And from 2020, there was a new rule that even if you change the function, or let's say you have 3 bedrooms and then you make 2 bedrooms and 1 living room, you're changing the function of the flat. That's what they said. I mean, they just were annoyed at me. Probably the foreigner, they thought I'm gonna open a strip club or a drug house there. I don't know what they thought, but yeah, they were reporting me to the government. And I talked to some lawyers. They said, yeah, they can shout all they want, they can annoy you all they want, they cannot do anything legal against you because you're not doing anything illegal. And I had all the papers, electrics, and all the other things, like piping, electrics, ventilation. Everything still is up to code. But yeah, so they reported me, and for 6 months they were sending me letters to the wrong address, and I didn't know they had a case against me. Man, when I went to the office, because here's what happened. Imagine one day I wake up, and I see that 8,000 zlotys was taken from my bank account, and this was from the tax office. And I was thinking, wait, let me just check if it's recording. All right, we're recording, all good. So I was so stressed. I thought, wait, I haven't even gotten to development. I haven't gotten any income. What is this 8,000 for? When did I not pay my taxes? Is it because of my business I sold? But that was in USA, and it was such a long time ago, No, so I went to the tax office. I stressed, jump around, talk to these people, pani, może mi powiedzieć, co jest to egzekucja? And they were like, oh, this is because it's actually some other organization. Please go to this desk. They jumped me around in different places. Okay, they were kind of nice. They were not too annoying. It was here in Ochota, close to, well, not Ochota, but close to this Rondo, I don't remember. Okay, it was the 3rd tax office, Lindleya, I think that's the name. I think so. That's the street name. Okay, so what happened then? I don't know if this is in the picture, man. It annoys me. Okay, so I found out that the building inspection office had taken 8,000 zloty from my account. Building inspection office, what? So then we went deeper into it. I found one day I went there and I looked at my case, because they allow you to look at the case, of course. Man, they had these many documents, literally it was a full height of a, I don't know, ice cream. And they had filed all those cases against me, all the letters they sent, and I didn't answer. I'm like, this is so weird, because my registered address was where I live in the center. And these people, it feels to me like evil that they were sending all these mails to this flat that I bought, not to the registered address, which they had on file. I have documents which shows when I registered in the city of Warsaw, those documents show that was my registered address, yeah, at the time of when they started sending these things. And this is probably because the administration, they probably knew I'm not living there, so they gave that address to to the inspection office, and the inspection office just continue. And even I went to the inspection office. Still to today, they're sending that to that address. It's so strange. I told them to change it, but this is what I see with the bureaucrats. They don't care. They just wanna. They just want to go home. They have so many of these cases. I'm a small fish. What the hell do they care? So that's something that happened. Don't want to discourage you too much, but this is my journey. Yeah. So then basically I was forced to give 7 months of profit, which was like I was making around $1,000 profit per month, but it's all cash. Like if it was a loan, I wasn't making anything. I wouldn't be making anything. So I basically gave that money to them. Yeah. To the renovation team. And by the way, the renovation was a big headache, man. I had to cut the walls, the beautiful walls that I created with my architect. The girls loved it. And now during the time they lived there, I was giving the girls some money because we were like making it so dusty. We had to basically widen a door by 20 centimeters, like this much. So it would be up to code. Like this is so annoying. Like there's so many renovations going on. This never happens. But once you get reported, this shit happens. They forced me to change the old Soviet door to a, I get angry even to this day, but they forced me to change the outside door, which I never had even touched, because now that I renovated, I need to make everything up to rule. And if you look across me, the neighbors, still their doors open to the outside. And here's a staircase. People come around, yeah. And my door was like opening and kind of like blocking the way, they're right. But so is the neighbors, yeah. And then, of course, you could say, why don't you report the neighbor? But that doesn't help me. Yeah, I don't want to sour my relations even more with the neighbors. And yeah, okay, let's say I report all of them. What does it matter? And they didn't do renovation. That's the thing. If you do a renovation, then you have to update your doors. But anyways, let's see. I got my control coming up in 2 months, but this is my whole experience. Yeah, they didn't give me a loan. They were annoying me. They basically forced me to do a bunch of renovations. I haven't made too much money on this, to be honest. Like the return, if you take, it was 7.5%. It became 3%, right? Because half of the year's returns were gone into, renovations, and like I paid the engineers to make a report, and like I pulled my hair out. I have some white strings somewhere here. Yeah. And yeah, the stress was not worth it, to be honest. If I was gonna do something similar, I would do room rental, because there's basically, there's nothing against that. But like splitting a flat into two, that even though I'm helping the market, I'm helping people to have a flat. These girls that live there, they're paying it. It means it's worth it for them. Yeah, they're blaming me as an investor. Yeah, so I told the inspection guy, listen, I made a mistake. He's like, yeah, you made a mistake. You think you're coming to Poland. You don't know the rules. He didn't say it like that, but he understood I'm not from here. But yeah, you come here. Actually, that was the guy who was checking my ventilation. Yeah, I heard the stories. You coming here, splitting flat illegally. I'm like, illegally? What are you talking about? There's no law against it, as long as all my technical conditions are met. Yeah. So yeah, you're coming here, blah blah blah. And then I told him, listen, I learned my lesson. I'm sorry. I learned my lesson. Poland doesn't want my money here. I will not invest here. Okay, I learned my lesson. Sorry, I invested in Poland. That's what I said to the guy. Sorry, I invested in Poland. I will never do it again. It was my mistake. I burned my hand. Yeah, burn my hand. Will never do it again. And I actually meant it. Yeah, that's it. That was the straw for me. Like, why am I doing all this? Yeah, you can do the very safe options, like buy a flat, 3% return. Fuck that, man. Like, I'm a young guy. I need to make money. I need to have a family soon. So yeah, that's just complete bullshit. That happened. And let me tell you more. So I went to, after all this, I was like, okay, so government of Poland, or the system, the way it's set up, it's not helping flippers. It's not helping investors that want to be like low risk. Let's say they don't want to do a renovation like I did. Maybe they want new houses because they want the prices to drop. And that is true to the most part. They give developer loans much easier than they give these mortgages to people, where you have to show income and stuff. For developer, as long as you have a partner or you have some experience, they can give it to you. And so I started looking to land, and at that point I met a guy named Franek. Hey Franek, he told me, Adrian, well, if you want to go into development, or there's a really nice event coming up, it's called the World Capitalism event, and go there and you'll meet some nice people. I was like, yeah, but everyone speaks Polish, like why should I? He's like, well, learn Polish. I was like, challenge accepted. Yeah. So from that day I knew I wanted to do development, and I started like really going hard on like Polish. Yeah. My first book was Shoe Dog, Sztuka Zwycięstwo. I basically, the first day it took me like 5 hours to read 1 page of Polish because every word was new. Second day it took me like 4 hours, 3 hours and a half. And then after 5 months, I could read a full page in like 5 minutes. Yeah. So my Polish basically in 6 months exploded. But then I stopped because I didn't have that much more motivation for it. I did have a Polish girlfriend, but we spoke English mostly. And it didn't last that long anyways. My heart got, fell in love. And no, I didn't fall in love. But I'm a cold-hearted. What am I saying? Okay. So what happened is I learned Polish. I went to this event, and I also saw Pavel Preissner. He came. He's a man. This guy's a genius of a developer, and he's a genius of a marketer, and he's teaching development. So I learned Polish with his book also. I can show you. So these are like, this is the book I bought actually. I'm not gonna read this anymore, but this is like what to check before you buy a book. So thank you, Pavel. Dziękuję bardzo. Wiesz, uczyłeś mnie dużo. Ja jestem wzdyszony. yeah. Anyways, I'm thankful. And this is the book that I actually read. Yeah. So I basically what I did. This is what I did. This is what you can do if you want to learn language. I took pictures of each page. So I took however many pages there are. I took pictures. I used the OCR image to text, basically. And then I took that and put it into a translator. So I had the full book in English, basically. No, sorry. I took the text, I put it into LinkQ, which is Steve Kaufman's app. With LinkQ, I was listening to the text, I was seeing the translations, and I was also learning about development concepts. So I didn't want to waste my time learning some different book. I wanted to learn Polish. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I did it. I used YouTube also to take his like lectures and like guess subtitles. That was genius, man. Yeah. So then I could basically just see the subtitles in Polish, which is important. I want to see and learn the word, like visually it goes to my brain, and then listen to it also. So it kind of like I understand so that's how I basically learn Polish very fast. So this video is not about that, but this is, yeah. So this guy's a master developer. He's teaching it. Of course, there are bigger developers than him, but he's actually teaching. I mean, as you have realized, like probably I'm the only channel who talks about real estate in Poland. And yeah, now I'm going to automation. So sadly, there will not be many, but I'm sure in the future there will be many brighter guys than me. I hope. And some system changes for real estate investors in Poland. That's what I hope. So I went to his course for 6 months. I paid a lot of money. His course was 20,000 zloty. So that's $5,000, I think. Yeah, $5,000. And then I bought a car because of development. I wanted to do development. So I bought a car. I looked at land for 6-7 months and I found a good deal in Otwock. And then what happened after? Okay, so I have the land now for 7 months. And yeah, I was looking for many, many deals. If you look at some of my videos, I can show you. I was excited when I saw 30% ROI, like 40% ROI, because I thought I'm going to leverage it, make like 120% or something. But then, I had this land, and of course I took a trouble-ish land, like something with trouble, but I thought I could solve it. I might still. I don't know. The good thing is, because of what Pavel taught me, I'm not going to lose that much money. Like, I'm going to lose maybe, let's say in general, everything, all the time that I wasted anyways. That's life wasted. 1.5 years of my life is gone. But I'm thankful for that because I came to where I am today. Yeah. So, and with this new business, I'm already making money. It's going to be way higher ROI because I'm not investing much. There's lower risk and I can invest. I can grow so much faster and more with automations. Yeah. So that's kind of my transition, as you kind of see the red dots connecting. So, or the purple dots going up and down connecting. Okay. So what can I tell you? I had this land for 7 months. I'm trying to get literally one letter from the government of city Otwock that they should allow me with this document to make an entry to my road, make an entry from the city road to the land. And basically it's been 6 months, man. It's been 6-7 months and they're so slow. They're so slow. And it makes me just want to like cry, I could look for more lands. I could look for lands which have less problems, or, if you're going to invest in Poland, you need to know like each city has different kind of politics. Warsaw is very hard to get a permit in, famous for this. And then there are places like the Powiat Pruszkowski, which is it's not a city, but it's like a county. And that county, they have like one architect office, and that architecture office, it's the government architecture office which approves the permits. You pull the permits from there. And some places like that are known to be good. Some places like Waver are known to be horrifying. But of course, every place changes. In those places, it's not that the place is bad. There are people, and some of those people, they just don't take responsibility. They don't care that your application, you need it fast. They don't care because they're getting paid monthly. Why should they? If they make a mistake, their ass is gonna get beaten. Yeah, and this is just like misalignment of incentive. All the place. I've met some very good people. I met Arthur. He was, working in the city of Otwock. So helpful, man. So helpful, giving me solutions, trying to solve things. Like it wasn't his obligation, but those are the people that give me hope for this life. People who want to do something good with their jobs, not just people who are sitting there getting paid and like, oh, it's like. But I feel sad for these people too because they don't have a purpose. They don't have something for tomorrow to look forward to. So I'm sad for that. I'm happy that I have that. So even if I'm losing money right now with this like real estate stuff, a little bit, not much. In the end, I'm probably gonna be fine. I'm gonna probably make good money on the appreciation. On the land, I might lose though. I'm trying to sell it now, sell it off with the papers that I've at least gathered. So I might make some little money or at least not lose money. But if I lose money, for the land, I put an option for 20,000 zloty. And 20,000 zloty, yeah, that's what I'm going to lose, basically. Plus all the education and stuff. I bought the car, but I also use the car for having fun dates and stuff. So that's okay. And I learned Polish. I don't think it's a bad thing to know. Okay, so what happened after? I analyzed many lands. I analyzed, huge deals where I thought I met a guy. I love this guy. His name is Michael. And he's basically a fund manager. And we were thinking big, we were going to buy some huge deals. And the ROI was like 50%, 60%. But, even then, I realized if I put like 1 million zloty, man, in 2 years, after all the crap that you need to deal with, I'm going to make the best case. This is like inconceivable. Talk to any developer and see if this is true or not. But like making 200% on your money. Yeah, not if you're like not putting any money, but then you have to still count your total return. Yeah, like if you're not putting any money, and then you're making, let's say after 1 year, like 100,000 zloty, and you were putting your full time in. Yeah, that's infinite ROI, but then you basically got like 10,000 zloty per month, or like less, 8,000, because you put full time in for that full year and you got paid that money. Yeah, so it's not only about the ROI, it's also about the absolute value you're getting. But let's just say something in the middle ground where you're putting some money and the ROI is, let's say, 200%. So I could basically, after 2 years of like hustling and stuff in those amazing big deals. By the way, those are scarier because you have so many more unknowns. Right now, for my land, I'm the only person basically making decisions, and the city and stuff. But for those huge deals, you have investors to answer to. You have every delay is gonna give you more headaches. You have to have a huge contractor. You have to do so many checks. It's not easy, man. This is not easy. So for those who think it's easy, yeah, I think I'm not going out of this business. I'm temporarily putting it off. I'm gonna come back to development. I think development, as someone said, is you are providing the groundwork for stars to shine. Stars to shine. Stars to shine are basically businesses. They make the real money. They make the real innovations. Real estate is the nebula that allows the stars to shine. So basically, real estate is always following behind the economy. Yeah. If there are many successful businesses, the prices of real estate will go up. There will be more need for commercial, residential, etc. But when there are not, so yeah, we make as a real estate investor, you make the stars shine bright, but you're not the star yourself. And that's true because you're making ROI of 20%, 30%. It's not bad. You can scale it, but you're not the star. But you also don't have the risk of becoming a I don't know what it's called, a black dwarf or whatever. Well, that's a planet. That's not a star, maybe. Or it is. I don't know. White dwarf, like a star that like burned out. That sounds so funny. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So with development, if you're gonna get a loan, also getting a loan is a huge problem, like pain in the back. But after all of that work, I just calculated for myself that I'm gonna make 80% returns after 2 years of putting in energy and like going through this process. I just don't see it, man. Because it's 80% after 2 years. But you need to also consider, man, like if it's taking 2 years and you have your money in, I don't. So let's say 1.5 years, but for simplicity, 2 years. 80% in 2 years, it means you're making roughly 40% per year on your money, on full time. So let's say I put 1 million zloty. After 2 years, I get a bank loan, all of that jazz, yeah. I basically I put in 1 million now, and in 2 years I get 1.8 back, right? Does that make sense? So basically, I made 40% each year. So 400% first year, 400,000 zloty first year, 400,000 zloty next year. And this is the best case, man. You're risking so much. You might not sell. You might, have way more cost than you imagined. And in the end, it turns out to be around $100,000 per year. Okay. Well, I have that money in a normal, flat now, 1 million zloty. I'm making 10% per year. So I'm not doing anything, and I'm making 1/4 of that money just by not doing anything, plus appreciation, which would even make it more. Okay, so I can sit on my ass and make 10%, or I can work my ass off and get 40%. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, meanwhile, this 10% is passive, more or less. I can work on the other business, which I'm doing now, automations, helping other businesses thrive, grow, like automate their processes, like scraping, and like there's so much things I can do. I was basically now building a social media outreach system for businesses to make sales, email campaigns, and I made a BSR tracker for Amazon that it's saving them $500, $600 per month, and I can get a portion of that, yeah. And that's like $200 a month, and I didn't invest anything. I'm learning a lot of new things, and yeah. So investing my full time, 2 years to get like 80%, 40% per year doesn't sound too exciting, man. Even if you get and by the way, to find this deal, it took me 6 months to search for land. If you have an amazing network, yeah, maybe you'll find land which is super cheap with like amazing city plan and regulations, and like the right people. Okay, good for you. My roots are not in Poland. I'm trying to get roots here, but it's hard. I don't have family here. I don't have like long time friends. It's hard for me to just go and drink beer and like make new friends by beer because I don't drink. I like to be productive. I like to make stuff. I like to do things. So it's hard to find these people anywhere who would be like sharing the same goals and same ambition and same drive, but especially in Poland. So reach out to me, by the way. If you're a driven person, you want to do some stuff, let's have a coffee. Let's just talk, I want to have my community of brothers and sisters, but usually brothers, that want to work hard, want to do things, want to take action, want to, get rid of the dopamine like bullshit that we live in today, and actually, produce and have a tribe, a tribe of strong-minded men. Yeah. Okay. So what I wanted to tell you is this: I didn't get a mortgage in Poland. In summary, they basically paid me a lot with the renovation stuff. These are like signs from life. These are amazing signs. These are lessons learned. Yeah. So I did that, and I didn't get a mortgage. They paid me for the renovation, and then for the land, I see they're so slow. They're basically disrespecting every investor's and every citizen's life. I'm sure they don't mean to do this, but this is just how the system is set up. Yeah, these are 3 red lights, and plus, just in general, this development that I'm looking at, there's modular housing. I'm actually starting to look at some modular housing in the US where they built it in China, like super good quality, and the cost of building is 1/4 of the like traditional cost. Yeah, that would be different development. That would be like 200-300% return maybe. Then we're talking, yeah. And but this, from what I'm talking, the time it takes, the effort it takes, and the returns are just too low. You know, in my first business, I made in 1 year 3,000%, 3,000%. Okay, on the money that I put in. Here, I'm putting all this work in for what, 80, 90? Doesn't make sense. Yeah. Of course, again, real estate is going to be great if you have millions, and yeah, 20% on millions is still good, and you can deploy large amounts of capital and make that money. Sure, I can see how it makes sense. Yeah. But as a guy who wants to make a lot of money quickly, you can become an agent and stuff, but I just don't like this market because I feel like I'm not innovating. If you are, then great for you. I see that I'm innovating way more in the space that I'm in, and innovating means just like connecting solutions. And yeah, with those three things in mind, that I didn't get a loan here, with all the effort that I put in, super hard to get loans, super hard to get financing, the bad behavior of the administration towards me, even though they clearly know it's like a normal flat. Yeah, people are living there, there's no problems. And then the pace, dude, I met the president of I met the, not the president, but the county president, and I told him this is the problem. And even after our face-to-face meeting, of course, he doesn't care. And I don't expect them. I'm not a, what to say? I don't want to be a victim. Yeah, I'm not a victim. I learned my lesson. I'm sorry to invest in real estate in Poland the way I did with the knowledge that I had. Yeah, I'm sorry to myself. I'm not gonna do it again. In USA, I was already pre-approved for great loans. Yeah, for buying just like normal houses, and yeah. And here they wouldn't even do that, yeah, because it's not that they're bad. I'm hoping and I'm wishing for Poland to become more and more open financially like that, and I'm sure it's on the way. We cannot expect too much from a country that basically for 20 years it's been like fully independent, yeah. So, love this place, and this is my reason why I'm now going into automations. I can get like a few clients. I can make $10,000, $20,000 a month, and I see this as a way more befreeing experience. I don't need to be here. I can go to any other place and continue what I'm doing, building on my knowledge. So the knowledge economy, yeah. With real estate, it's very local. It's like, especially if you're a place like this, it's just hard, like to get going. And again, I feel like I'm not quitting because it's hard. I'm just going over to something that I can leverage my brain and my language and my connections more. That's how I see this. And in the future, I'm going to do real estate. I've learned a shit ton. I can apply this knowledge now because I understand the deals. I understand the more or less the regulations, more or less the way it works. So in the future, I'm sure I'm going to build my own houses. I'm sure I'm going to, have way better knowledge of contractors, of what it is that goes into the foundation. Like, I learned a lot. So I'm thankful for that. And in the future, for my own business, I'm probably going to, do the land deals, do the real estate deals. And yeah, with all the connections, I met some amazing people. I learned how to find the gems. Like, I was interviewing 40 architects, 40 engineers, calling like, whoa. And then now I have a few contacts that I'm like, these are gems, yeah? These are gems that no one knows about. And I think I can do that in the automation business. So imagine the scalability of this is going to be so much more. Making $20,000 a month with automation is way easier than real estate. And $20,000 a month, that's 400K. Wait, that's 200K per year. That's 400K per 2 years, which is equal to what I would have. Wait, that's way more. That's way more than I would have gotten with real estate, yeah? Real estate was 400,000 zloty with the invested money. All the risk, all the time. And then now I need to find another good deal like that. It's going to take another 6 months. It just doesn't make sense to me. That's why I'm doing the transition, because I found where the grass is greener. I hope it's not going to be like the saying that I just went there and didn't. Anyways, I just feel like it's more fun. I like to learn every day. So if you want to invest in Poland, yeah, watch this video, man. It was so much information, a little bit about my background, my story, and you'll see the next videos is going to be basically more or less about automations. But I just wanted to close this chapter out because I talked about this with my parents, I talked about this with my friends, and I thought I have to tell it to the world what I've experienced. This is something very valuable, very business oriented, and I really hope it helps you. I really hope you don't do the same mistakes, and let's connect. Have a good day. Watch this other video if you haven't, and good luck. Bye.